internet network, I guess, went down. Father Yah, I pray that you're in control of everything, and I pray that you keep this connection going so that this is not taken down by the enemy with technology, Father. Obviously, if the enemy's trying to take it down, then it's an important broadcast, recording, whatever we want to call it. So thank you, Father. Thank you for the opportunity to share your word. Thank you for the opportunity that we live in a country where we can read your word freely and we can dig into it, and then we can share it and share the joy of your instructions, your Torah. Father God, be blessed in our efforts. Send this out to whoever's supposed to hear it. And just thank you once again for the opportunity. In Yahushua's name. Amen. Make sure everything is working. Okay, so welcome. I wanted to get the prayer in right away because this is my second take because my internet network went down. So my name is Lenita. I'm the Scrappy Grandma. And this is the Torah portion playlist where I read the first books of the first 5 books of the Bible, the Torah. It's called the instructions. Christians call it the law, which makes it sound really icky, but it's actually our instruction manual, the first 5 books of the Bible, where our Creator gave us his instructions. And it's broken up into weekly portions, so you can really dig in and understand who wrote it. Well, Moses wrote it, who it was written for and written to, the Hebrews, and why it was written and what it was for. And I had gone through it all last year, recording it, and then life got really, really busy. And so I was just putting up last year's recordings. Our daughter and son-in-law and 4 grandchildren moved right around the corner. And so, helping move and then getting them settled and then spending lots and lots and lots of time with my grandbabies. Yay. And just learning how to navigate the shift, the adjustment of the life being different. And then my health started going down a little bit. And then I then did a weight loss protocol 4.5 weeks ago. Now I started it, and boy, my health, my hormones, my weight, everything started kind of going crazy. And so, and a lot of you don't know that for the last dozen years, I'm actually a certified weight loss coach, and specializing in detox. And so, and I had actually was retiring. I retired at the first of the year for a few reasons. One of them being that I couldn't do the main protocol that I coach with, the HCG protocol. It is controversial, but it is something that's tried and true and proven in my world and with the hundreds of people I've worked with over the last decade. But I wasn't in a place physically, mentally, emotionally to do it. And so I felt like a fraud. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to hang it up. I'm not meant to do this anymore. And then the Father was like, yeah, no, shift. You're just going to do it different. And so, like I said, my health started going. And so this is a lot of the reasons why I had not been keeping up with the Torah portions. And so did the protocol, halfway into this phase 3 of the protocol, and my weight's come down, my hormones have balanced, it reset the hypothalamus, and I'm feeling amazing. It actually is, oh my gosh, I can see, this is beautiful. I can see comments. I'm not used to being able to see comments. Hi, please read your name. Salam Ben Mazadam. I don't know that I did that right, but welcome. Anyway, so I took off some weight. I reset my hypothalamus, reset my hormones, and I feel fabulous. And it looks like I'm not retiring. So that's going to be something else I'm going to have to filter in and adjust in my new lifestyle. But there was a couple of gaps from, I would just republish last year's portion at the right, during the right week. And then there was some gaps. So something must have happened last year where I wasn't able to do the portion. And so I sat down to do it, and I realized how much I had missed it. It just fed my spirit. It was living water, absolute living water. So I'm back. I'm back to reading the portions, one, to start filling in the gaps, but then two, I'm just going to, a lot's transpired, a lot's happened. I've learned a lot. I still have lots of questions, and I'm by no means a teacher, but I just love his word and I love to share. And so I'm excited to share this week's portion. It's week 35 and it's Nasso, and it means make an accounting. So, and I usually, if you're new, I usually start off reading a little bit of commentary out of this book, A Year Through the Torah, a week by week journey for Christians. I do have a link. I always add a link into the description with my Amazon storefront. And so where I buy all my books and things like that, all things Bible, you can click into there and you can get this book. So let's begin. Nasso, and it's Numbers. Numbers 4:21 through 7:89. So it's going to be quite a bit of reading today. So in Parshat Bemidbar, a census was taken of all Levite males from the age of 1 month and up, totaling 22,000. In Parshat Nasso, an additional census is taken of the 3 Levite clans that were responsible for transporting the tabernacle in the wilderness. And the Parsha begins, the Lord spoke to Moshe, that's Moses, saying, take a census of the sons of Gershon, and also by their father's house and by their clans. Now, these are the sons of Levi. So the roles of the Levites, as you studied in Parsha Bemidbar, the first son of each Hebrew family was originally intended to perform service to the Lord by offering sacrifices on behalf of their family. However, when the firstborn sons of Israel later took part in the sins of the golden calf in the wilderness, they sadly forfeited this right. And the Lord commanded Moses to exchange the roles of the firstborn to the sons of the Levites, who would then serve him in the Mishkan, the tabernacle. The descendants of Levites were themselves stratified according to their lineage, so that there are 4 divisions of Levites. The Gershonites, descendants of Levi's firstborn son Gershon, this clan was responsible for caring for the Mishkan, the tabernacle's woven articles, the coverings for the walls, the roof of the tabernacle. They dwelt on the west side of the Mishkan, the tabernacle, and Aaron's son Ithamar was the overseer of the Gershonites. Now we're in the wilderness. They've built the traveling tabernacle, the one that they have to tear down, pack up, move when the smoke or the pillar, the cloud of fire or the pillar of smoke moves, and then set it all back up again. So this is going to be going over who does what job, which I love. I think it's so fascinating because it really brings it alive. So the Kohathites, they're descendants of Levi's middle son, Kohath. This clan carried the sacred objects of the Mishkan. Through Midrash, Midrash is where people sit around and discuss the portion and what they think it means. So through Midrash, though Midrash states that the Holy Ark actually carried those who carried it. Interesting. So note that the Kohanim, the priests, priests are a subset of this clan. See below. They dwelt on the south side of the tabernacle, the Mishkan. So there's I don't know if it's backwards or not, but it shows Levi, the son of Jacob, and then Gershom, Kohath, and Merari. And then down from Kohath is Amram, and then Aaron, Moses' brother, Aaron, who is the high priest. And so, and then there's the Merarites, the descendants of Levi's youngest son, Merari. This clan carried the wooden parts of the Mishkan, the tabernacle, as well as the ropes and the sockets used for the curtain of the courtyard. They dwelt on the north side of the Mishkan. Aaron's son, Ithamar, was also the overseer of the Merarites. And the Kohanim, descendants of Levi's great-grandson, Aaron. This clan was responsible for performing all of the korbanot, it means the sacrifices, and other rituals on behalf of all of Israel. As the priestly class of Israel, only the Kohanim were allowed to perform the priestly service, and they dwelt on the east side of the Mishkan, the tabernacle. In addition to carrying the various ritual objects, the Levites assisted the Kohanim by slaughtering animal sacrifices, cleaning them, and cutting them up. Some of the Levites were selected to guard the Mishkan, while others were designated as singers and musicians in the camp of the Shekinah. Music accompanied various daily sacrifices. How awesome. Earlier, the Lord commanded that a separate census of all the clans of Levi be taken, but now he wanted a separate count for the Kohathites, the Gershonites, and the Merarites. The result of this additional census were Kohath, 2,750, Gershon, 2,630, and Merari, 3,200, indicating a total workforce of 8,580 between the ages of 30 and 50. That was They performed their duties between 80 and 50, or 30 and 50 years old. Which is interesting, they start their priestly service at the age of 30. And when did Yeshua, our Mashiach, our Messiah, Jesus, when did he start his priestly service? Was at 30. So, making the camp holy. After taking the census and setting up the clans around the Mishkan, the Lord commanded that all the ritually unclean were to be sent out of all three camps: the camp of the Shekinah, the Mishkan, the camp of the Levites, and the camp of the Israelites in general. All of those afflicted by zarat, which is a skin affliction resulting from lashon hara. This is one we learned about a few weeks ago. So zarat is translated in our Bibles to leprosy, but it's not the medical disease leprosy that we know today. It was actually a skin affliction that was brought on by lashon hara, which means evil speaking. So negative speech, talking negatively about yourself, about other people, about because when you speak negatively, you are speaking curses against what the Father, that he's not capable. If you speak something negative, then you say, the Most High is not capable of making this good. So it brings on zarat, which is a skin affliction. So or a discharge that is to be, so they either were afflicted by zarat, leprosy, or had a discharge where those that had zarat, or those that were excluded from the sacred assembly because they had a discharge in the wilderness. Those who were made unclean by contact with the dead were only forbidden to enter the camp of the Mishkan, but could remain in the were only forbidden to enter the camp of the Mishkan, but could remain in the other camps. So, and it kind of shows how everyone's set up. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with Numbers 4:21. Nasso. Make an accounting. And Yah spoke to Moshe, saying, take a census also of the sons of Gershon by their father's house, by the clans, and register them from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who enter to perform the service, to do the service of the tent of appointment. This is the service of the clans of the Gershonites, in serving and in bearing burdens, and they shall bear the curtains of the dwelling place, and the tent of appointment with its covering, the covering of fine leather that is on it, and the covering of the door of the tent of appointment, and the screens of the courtyard, and the covering for the door of the gate of the courtyard, which is around the dwelling place, and slaughter place, and their cords, all of the equipment for their service, and all that is made for them. So shall they serve. At the mouth of Aaron and his sons is all the service of the sons of the Gershonites, all their burdens and all their service, and you shall appoint to them all the duty of all of their burden. This is the service of the clans of the son of Gershon in the tent of the appointment. And let their duties be under the hand of Ithamar, son of Aaron, the priest. As for the sons of Merari, register them by their clans and by their father's house. Register them from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who enter the service to do the work of the tent of appointment. And this is the duty of their burden, according to their service for the tent of appointment, the boards of the dwelling place and its bars and its columns and its sockets, and the columns around the courtyard with their sockets and their pegs and their cords and all of their equipment and all of their service, and assign to each by name the equipment of the duty of their burden. This is the service of the clans of the sons of Merari, as all their service for the tent of appointment under the hand of Ithamar, son of Aaron, the priest. So Moshe and Aaron and the leaders of the congregation registered the sons of the Kethites by their clans and by their father's house, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who entered the service for the work of the tent of appointment. And their registered ones by their clans were 2,750. These were the registered ones of the clans of the Kethites, all those serving in the tent of appointment, whom Moshe and Aaron registered according to the mouth of Yah by the hand of Moshe. And those registered ones of the sons of Gershon by their clans and by their father's house, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who enter the service for the work of the tent of appointment. The registered ones by their clans, by their father's house, were 2,630. These were the registered ones of the clans of the son of Gershon, of all who serve in the tent of appointment, whom Moshe and Aaron registered according to the mouth of Yah. And those of the clans of the sons of Merari, who were registered by the clans by their father's house, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who entered the service for the work of the tent of appointment, the registered ones by their clans were 3,200. These were the registered ones of the clans of the sons of Merari, whom Moshe and Aaron registered according to the mouth of Yah by the hand of Moshe. All the registered ones of the Levites, whom Moshe and Aaron and the leaders of Israel registered by their clans and by their fathers' houses, from 30 years old and above, even to 50 years old, all who came to do the work of service and the work of bearing burdens in the tent of appointment. Their registered ones were 8,580. According to the mouth of Yah, they were registered by the hand of Moshe, each according to his service and according to his burden. Thus were they registered by him as Yah commanded Moshe. Chapter 5. And Yah spoke to Moshe, saying, command the children of Israel to send out of the camp every leper and everyone who has a discharge, whomever becomes defiled for a being touching a dead body. Send out both male and female, send them outside the camp so that they do not defile their camp in the midst of which I dwell. And the children of Israel did so. So send them outside the camp. And the children of Israel did so to send them outside the camp. As Yah had spoken to Moshe, so the children of Israel did. And Yah spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the children of Israel. When a man or a woman commits any sin, that man committed in trespass against Yah, and that being is guilty. Then they shall confess their sins which they have done, and they shall restore his guilt in its principal plus 1/5 of it, and give it to whom he has been guilty. So they have to make reparations, I guess it's called. They have to, not only do they have to confess their sins, but they have to repay and then pay extra for what they had done. Give extra, pay extra, depending what they did. But if the man has no redeemer to restore the guilt which is, but if the man has no redeemer to restore the guilt to, the guilt which is restored goes to Yah for the priest, in addition to the ram of the atonement with which atonement is made for him. So if there's not somebody to, to make amends with, and give of their sacrifice to make up for it, then they, give it to Yah through the priest at the tabernacle. And every contribution of all the set apart gifts of the children of Yisrael, which they bring to the priest, becomes his. So, this is how the priests, they get the food that they bring to sacrifice. And every man's set apart gift becomes his, whether any man gives the priest whatever any man gives the priest becomes his. And Yah spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when any man's wife turns aside and has committed a trespass against him, and a man has intercourse with him, and it is hidden from the eyes of her husband, and it is concealed that she has defiled herself, and there is no witness against her, nor was she caught. This is really interesting how this happens and this works. And the spirit of jealousy comes upon him, the husband, and he becomes jealous of his wife who has defiled herself. So he's like, something's up, and I think she may have been unfaithful to me. Although she, so the spirit of jealousy comes upon him, and he becomes jealous of his wife, although she had not defiled herself. So he may just be, suspicious and jealous, but she actually didn't do anything. Then the man shall bring his wife to the priest, and he shall bring the offering for her, 1/10 of an ephah of barley flour. And he is not to pour oil on it or to put frankincense on it, because it is a grain offering of jealousy, an offering for remembering, for bringing crookedness to remembrance. And the priest shall bring her near and shall make her stand before Yah. And the priest shall take set apart water. So set apart in most Bibles is translated to holy. Holy means set apart for his good purpose and service. So he takes some set apart water in an earthen vessel and takes some of the dust that is on the floor of the dwelling place and put it in the water. And the priest shall make the woman stand before Yah and shall uncover the woman's head and put the offering for remembering in her hands, which is the grain offering of jealousy that her husband brought, while the priest holds in his hand the bitter water that brings a curse. And the priest shall make her swear and say to the woman, if no man has lain with you, and if you have not turned aside to uncleanness under your husband's authority, be free from this bitter water that brings a curse. But if you have turned aside under your husband's authority, and if you have defiled yourself, and some man other than your husband has lain with you, then the priest shall make the woman swear with an oath of the curse. And he shall say to the woman, Yah make you a curse and an oath among your people, when Yah makes your thigh waste away and your belly swell. Trippy, huh? And this water that causes the curse shall go into your inward parts and make your belly swell and your thigh waste away. And the woman shall say, Amen, Amen. And the priest shall write these curses in a book and shall wipe them off into the bitter water, and shall make the woman drink the bitter water that brings the curse, and the water that brings the curse shall enter her and to become bitter. And the priest shall take the grain offering of jealousy from the woman's hand, and shall wave the offering before Yah, and bring it to the slaughter place. And the priest shall take a hand filled with the offering as its remembrance offering, and burn it on the slaughter place, and afterward make the woman drink the water. And when he has made her drink the water, then it shall be, if she has defiled herself and has committed a trespass against her husband, that the water brings the curse, and the water that brings the curse shall enter her and become bitter, and her belly shall swell, and her thigh shall waste away, and the woman shall become a curse among her people. People there. But if the woman has not defiled herself and is clean, then she shall be clear and shall conceive children. This is the Torah of jealousy. This is the instruction of jealousy. When a wife turns aside under her husband's authority and defiles herself, or when a spirit of jealousy comes upon a man and he becomes jealous of his wife, then he shall make the woman stand before Yah, and the priest shall do to her all of this Torah, instructions. Torah translates to instructions. And the man shall be clear from crookedness, but the woman bear her crookedness. 6. And Yah spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when a man or a woman does separate by making a vow of a Nazirite to be separate to Yah, he separates himself from wine and from strong drink, and he drinks neither vinegar of wine nor vinegar of strong drink, neither does he drink any grape juice nor eat grapes or raisins, so nothing from the vine. And this is when they take a Nazirite vow, whereas they want to, separate themselves unto the Most High for a period of time. All the days of his separation, he does not eat whatever is made of the grapevine from seed to skin. All the days of the vow of his separation, a razor does not come upon his head until the days are completed for which he does separate himself to Yah. He is set apart. He shall let the locks of his head grow long. All the days of his separation to Yah, he does not go near a dead body. So it's really interesting. I was just thinking, it just kind of, excuse me there. Got an itch. Jesus, Yeshua came from Nazareth. He was considered a Nazirite. And all of the depictions we have of him have really long hair. But, I'm sure we know he drank wine. So that takes more digging. All the days of his separation to Yah, he does not go near a dead body. And we know that Yeshua definitely went near dead bodies because he raised people from the dead. So he does not make himself unclean for his father or for his mother, meaning he doesn't, if his mother or father die while he's during his time of being the vow of Nazareth, he cannot bury or, he cannot prepare even his mother and his father for burial because he cannot touch a dead body. That makes him unclean. It doesn't make him sinful. It doesn't make him, horrible. It just makes him unclean for a period of time. So he does not make himself unclean for his father or for his mother, for his brother or his sister when they die, because his separation to Elohim is on his head. All the days of his separation, he is set apart to Yah. And when anyone dies beside him in an instant suddenly, and he has defiled the head of his separation, then he shall shave his head on the day of his cleansing. On the 7th day, he shaves it. And on the 8th day, interesting, 8th day, he brings 2 turtle doves and 2 young pigeons to the priest to the door of the tent of appointment. And the priest shall prepare one as a sin offering and the other as an ascending offering, and shall make atonement for him because he sinned by reason of a dead body. And it shall be set apart, and he shall set apart his head on that day, and shall separate to Yah the days of his separation, and shall bring a male lamb, a year old, as a guilt offering. But the former days are not counted because his separation was defiled. He wasn't able to complete it. And this is the Torah, the instructions of the Nazirite. When the days of his separation are completed, he is brought to the door of the tent of appointment, to the tabernacle, and he shall bring his offering to Yah, 1 male lamb, a year old, a perfect one, as an ascending offering, and 1 ewe lamb, a year old, a perfect one, as a sin offering, and 1 ram, a perfect one, as a peace offering, and a basket of unleavened bread, cakes of fine flour mixed with oil, and unleavened thin cakes anointed with oil, and their grain offering with their drink offering. And the priest shall bring them before Yah and prepare his sin offering and his ascending offering. And he shall prepare the ram as a slaughtering of peace offering to Yahweh, Yah, the Most High, together with the basket of unleavened bread. And the priest shall prepare its grain offering and its drink offering. And the Nazirite shall shave his head of his separation at the door of the tent of appointment, and he shall take the hair from the head of his separation and shall put it on the fire which is under the slaughter place of the peace offering. And the priest shall take the boiled shoulder of the ram of one unleavened cake. Take the shoulder of the ram and one unleavened cake from the basket and one unleavened thin cake, and put them upon the hands of the Nazirite after he has shaved his hair of separation. And then the priest shall wave them a wave offering before Yah. It is set apart for the priest beside the breast of the wave offering and beside the thigh of the contribution. And afterwards the Nazirite shall drink wine. This is the Torah of the Nazirite who vows to Yahweh. So that is the instructions for how to set yourself apart and take a Nazirite vow for a period of time. The offering of his separation, and besides that, whatever else his hand is able to provide according to the vow which he takes, so he shall do according to the Torah of his separation, the instructions of his separation. And Yah spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, this is how you bless the children of Israel. So this is beautiful here. This is where that prayer that we hear comes from. Yahweh bless you and guard you. Yahweh make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Yahweh lift his face upon you and give you peace. Thus they shall put his name on the children of Israel, and I myself shall bless them. Isn't that beautiful? 7. And it came to be when Moshe finished setting up the dwelling place that he anointed it and set it apart, and all its furnishings, as well as the slaughter place and all its utensils. Thus he anointed them and set them apart. And the leaders of Israel, heads of their fathers' houses, who were the leaders of the tribes, and over the ones registered, drew near. And they brought their offerings before Yah, 6 covered wagons and 12 cattle, a wagon for every 2 of the leaders, and for each one a bull. And they brought them near before the dwelling place. And Yah spoke to Moshe, saying, accept these from them, and they shall be used in doing the service of the tent of appointment, and you shall give them to the Levites, each one according to his service. So people brought offerings of carts and oxen and bulls and things to be able to carry the implements. Now, all of the holy implements, like the ark and the table of showbread and the menorah, those all had to be carried by hand. But like the boards and the sockets and all of the woven, that all was able to be carried on the carts. So Moshe took the wagons and the cattle and gave them to the Levites. And he gave 2 wagons and 4 cattle to the sons of Gershon, according to their service. And he gave 4 wagons and 8 cattle to the sons of Merari, according to their service, under the hand of Ithamar, son of Aaron, the priest. But to the sons of Kohath he gave none, because theirs was the service of the set-apart objects, which they bore on their shoulders. So they all had to be carried by hand. The leaders brought the dedication offering of the slaughter place in the day it was anointed. So the leaders brought their offering before the slaughter place. And Yah said to Moshe, let them bring their offering, each leader each day, for the dedication of the slaughter place. And the one who brought his offering on the first day was Nahshon, son of Amminadab, from the tribe of Judah. And his offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb a year old as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offerings, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Nahshon, son of Amminadab. On the second day, Nathaniel, son of Tzur, leader of Issachar, brought near. He brought his offering, 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, So real quick, 130 shekels. I love this Bible because it actually has a breakdown of what a shekel is. Weights and measures. Shekel. There's a light shekel and a heavy shekel, and it's silver or gold. And its U.S. equivalent is 20 ounces for the light shekel, 40 ounces for the heavy shekel. Or if it's like 210 grains or 420 grains. So this is asking for eeks. Where to stop? Here we go. So the silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels. So do the math. One silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering. One gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, one young bull, one ram, one male lamb, a year old, as an ascending offering, one male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offering, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs, a year old. This was the offering of Nathaniel, son of Tzur. On the third day, Eliab, son of Helon, leader of the children of Zebulun, his offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering. 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb, a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offering, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs, a year old. This was the offering of Eliab, son of Helon. On the 4th day, Elitzur, son of Shedir, leader of the children of Reuben, was off. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 golden ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb, a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offering, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs, a year old. This was the offering of Elitzur, son of Shedir. On the 5th day, Shemuel, son of Shaddai, leader of the children of Simeon, his offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb, a year old, as an ascending offering, and 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offering, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs, a year old. This was the offering of Shemuel, son of Shaddai. On the 6th day, Eliasaph, son of Dil, leader of the children of Gad, his offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb, a year old, as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offering, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs, a year old. This was the offering of Eliasaph, son of Dul. On the 7th day, Elishma, son of Amminadab, leader of the children of Ephraim, his offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, one young bull, one ram, one male lamb, a year old as an ascending offering, one male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offering, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs a year old. This was the offering of Elishama, son of Amhadad. So each day there was a lot of offerings and a lot of food. On the 8th day, Gamaliel, son of Pedashur, leader of the children of Manasseh, his offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb, a year old as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offering, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs, a year old. This was the offering of Gamaliel, son of Pedashur. On the 9th day, Abidan, son of Gedoni, leader of the children of Benjamin, his offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set apart place, both of them filled with fine flour. You know what, fine flour too. We learned this last year. It was so fascinating how the fine flour is really well ground to very fine. And what the priests would do is they would rub their hands together to create static, and then put their hands over the flour. And if the flour, static electricity, if it was fine enough and light enough, it would stick to their hands. Thought that was interesting. So anyway, I thought I lost where I need to put a marker. So 1 young bull, 1 ram, grain offering. 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb, a year old as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offering, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs, a year old. This was the offering of Gamaliel, son of Pedashur. On the 9th day, Abidan, son I already read that one. Sorry. Okay. They all offer the same thing. There we go. So we're going to go down. Okay. On the 10th day, Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai, leader of the children of Dan, his offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set apart place, both of them filled with fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, 1 golden ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb, a year old as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offering, 2 cattle, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs, a year old. This was the offering of Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. On the 11th day, Pagiel, son of Okran, leader of the children of Asher, his offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of which was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, according to the shekel of the set apart place, both of them filled with fine flour and mixed with oil as a grain offering. 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb, a year old as an ascending offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and as a slaughtering of peace offering, 2 cattle, 5 rams,